You know, throughout all my time watching wrestling for the past decade, since 2009 or early 2010, a big part of wrestling is video games, and to see this year's video game is quite shocking. And I'm on about 2K20. Now, I've been getting wrestling games ever since 2012. I got WWE 12, and all the way up to then. I've even found a couple of copies here. I can't find a lot of them because they're hidden somewhere, but I got 17 right here, I got 18 right here, 19 right here. If it's able to focus, there you go. And I've collected other things as well, apart from video games like DVDs and figures, all these belts and all that stuff. And I think that 2K20 was a big letdown for quite a few reasons. Mainly maybe because it's not playable, if that makes sense. And it's hard to explain, but it's really not playable at all. And I say it's not playable for a big reason. It's because there's so many bugs, it's hard to play. It's almost, frankly, impossible to play without enjoying it. And I bought the game 4 days ago, and I'm really not enjoying it at all. I wanted to give it a chance because I bought it a couple of days after the release, and the reviews were not good at all. They rated it like, I think it was 4 stars out of 10, which is absolutely horrible. A lot of the games had that anyways. There was not many people happy about it anyways. So I got the game. One of the main reasons why I got it is because the QR codes or supercards. I've been playing supercard for 5 years, and it was actually good for my deck to have belt. Another reason was I just buy it yearly because there's new wrestlers and there's new content, and this year was the first ever female my career mode, with a male one. And I gave that a couple of hours. I played like 5 hours of it, and it's just not great. There's a lot of bugs. The dialogue you can't skip. You know, there's a lot of dialogue. There's too much dialogue. There's more dialogue than matches. You see, back in the previous games, you could have 1 week of dialogue, like a dialogue and then a match, and the next week you just go into a match without any dialogue, which would be okay, but like it'd be a little bit frustrating. But this is really frustrating because every loading screen is like every 5 seconds, and then there's some more dialogue. The gameplay, there's quite a few glitches. I've seen a lot of videos of lots of glitches, people falling through the map, head spazzing up the game's crashing, and it's actually really ridiculously sad. Now, I got the pre-order version. I don't know why, but in UK, if you see in the past 3 games right here, just if you see a pattern, not just with 2K, but I'll just try and show real quick. You got that. Well, it doesn't have a 2K17, but you get the pre-order version, even though you don't buy the pre-order version. In UK, you get the pre-order version for cheaper. I don't know why, but it is what it is. I'm not complaining. And in this year's, we would get the Fiend Bray Wyatt, a new improved character of Bray Wyatt. And I got it. I went to click download, and it just took me back to the menu. And I thought, okay. I restarted my game, and it wasn't there. But it also came with the 2K Originals, which is a new, improved style of gameplay. But there's new maps, like new creative maps. Like there's one in Hell, there's one in like a dungeon. There's quite a few places. So I clicked on it, and it came up with this content will be available soon. And I was thinking, oh, okay. Well, I bought it 4 days after the game was released, so why is it still not available? So I checked their Twitter and their Instagram, and they have just blanked everyone. They brought the game, tons of bugs. They didn't reply to anyone's frustration, nothing. And only I think it was last night, after 6 days of the game being out, they commented saying PS4 and Xbox One, the originals are now up. And we're thinking, okay. I played the original, and to get Bray Wyatt you actually have to complete 6 matches. You have to complete a hard, it's a hard difficulty of 6 matches. If you lose 1 match, I think you have to restart everything to unlock Bray Wyatt and all the accessories. And there's quite a few matches you can play as Sheamus, Nikki Cross. I think there's Trish Stratus, Sami Zayn, and there's a Finn Balor special one. And you get to unlock things from My Career and all that. Speaking of My Career and unlocking things, on the first day for PS4, and I think for a couple of days, you couldn't even add customization to your character, otherwise the game would crash. And I kind of realized that because when I did this last night, or 2 nights ago, I went to play My Career. Spoilers by the way, I'm up to the Royal Rumble, which is one of the final parts. I went to go play, and it crashed. And I was like, oh okay. I tried again. It was just stuck on the loading screen, so I reset the game. Same thing happened. I turned off the PS4, turned it back on, same thing happened. I left it a couple of hours, turned it on. There was a scene from skipping forward of what I was supposed to do, and then went to a cutscene, and then it was loading screen again. So there's a bug that if you add any customization to your character on PS4, I think only, you are stuck on the loading screen for an eternity. And they've not fixed this bug at all. There's tons of glitches with the characters. The characters look very ugly. 2K19's characters look very nice and realistic. Have you seen Becky Lynch's character face? It's absolutely horrendous. I don't know if I can find any on the back here. Okay, well, wait a minute. Do you see Brock Lesnar? And that's it, blurry. But none of this looks real. These characters do not look like that. They look absolutely horrendous. If you type in WWE 2K20 Becky Lynch, the character looks like it's been molded by a 5-year-old. It looks absolutely disgusting. I wanted to like this game, I really did. I felt like this was great because the partnership with 2K, I think it's, I don't know who's partnered with it, but does it say on the back? It might say on the back. Or does it not say on the back? I think there's some partnerships with 2K that are leaving this year to make their own game. Oh yeah, it was a partnership, so I think it was Yuka's. Oh no, I'm trying to show you guys now. This one right here. My finger is not on the camera. This one right here, the yellow one. This company was supposed to be staying with them for a while. They have for a while, since I think 2014, and they left to make their own thing, and it just went horrible. They partnered with someone new or something like that. The mechanics changed. Speaking of mechanics, the gameplay, like the controls are horrible. It used to be to reverse. It used to be on PS4 R2. Now it's triangle. Triangle used to be a finisher. Now it's square and X. Why is that a thing? I do not know. You know, there's just, it's okay. It's just not good. It's just not as good as 2K19 was. And I deleted 2K19 to get a big ass storage update, which took 3 hours to download, for a big amount of disappointment. The 2K showcase, which was the 4 Horsewomen event, which had, I think, 10 matches or around there. I've only played like 5. It's just not great. And the commentary isn't that great either. You have like repetitive things. If you use the same move twice, I've done this in my career. I kept hitting the objective was get the torso to red, so I kept on doing that in volume 1. And Michael Cole would just repeat the same thing over and over, and it would just get very frustrating, so I had to turn the volume off. And that's how I play. I have to actually turn it off, use subtitles, because it's just so annoying. And That's not what you want. You don't want to have to turn off the volume because the commentary is so horrible. They rushed this, and I felt like I would have been happier if they didn't release a game this year and released it next year. Even if it was called 2K21 and you would skip it. It would make so much more sense to focus on a game, because one of your partners are leaving to make their own game. Just try and... I would like it if they even just improved 2K19, added new stuff to it. Because this is what they do. After December or January, they leave the game forever. They don't focus on it. They just decide, we're going to bring out some DLC and we're going to leave you. That's it. And it's very frustrating. I've not tried it online because I'm just not going to bother. There's no point. The download customized characters last year, I like downloading people from AEW like Kenny Omega. I tried that this year. He looks absolutely horrendous. It's the worst Kenny Omega I've ever seen. It's not just him, it's all the other characters. Last year's Kenny Omega looked very realistic and very cool. This one just doesn't. It's just not great. There's too many bugs. They're not even proud to even talk about it. I think they discussed one tweet saying that in a couple of weeks they'll try something. Why can't they do it now? Their team hasn't even worked that hard, we can tell, because the graphics look horrible. They normally release like trailers back in July, June. They released this end of August or September time, just showing a little trailer. It's so expensive for so many things, and not even all the DLC is out yet for people who pre-ordered. So like the Special Origin, you can only get one. The other three aren't unlockable for how long? But the game is not worth £50. They should put it at least 25, even if they lose money. They'll probably earn a bit more respect for their fans. Tweet more about this. WWE 2K, you need to resolve things very fast because you're losing the fan base pretty well. And I'm sorry I kept rambling on, but it's not living up to their expectations. Every other game's got to get better. 2K19 was way better than 2K18 because there were so many bugs gone, and there's introductions to brand new wrestlers and return wrestlers. This one just isn't great. It really isn't. It just feels like I'm living off 2012, 13 WWE. So I'm sorry, but this year it's not going to be great. And even if they do fix the bugs, they've probably already lost a ton of fans and money. I was debating buying it this year, but I don't think I'm going to buy next year if it's going to be like that. So if you are thinking of getting 2K20, if you want to do it just because you're bored of 2K19 and you want something new, or you're just there for like me, the supercard thing, I think you should get it. But don't get it now, get it when it's on sale, because it's probably going to be very soon when it's on sale. But if you want it because you think it's going to be better graphics, then I'll just stick with 2K19. So sorry if I've gone on too far, but this year's WWE game is not great. Well, thank you so much for listening, and I hope I could change your mind a bit. I hope that 2K can actually listen to the fans and maybe progress and getting better with the games. And that's all I have to say, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you all people soon. Bye bye.